Stadium.
And we're here today to talk to you about how to go crabbing in a boat. Now the easiest way here at Jetty Fishery to go crabbing in a boat is to come on down and rent the $100 deal. Now, in all honesty, it could be more expensive next year, but as of right now, it's the $100 deal. So what you want to do, come down here, come on in the store, say you want the $100 deal. We get you a boat and motor, 3 crab rings, everything you need to go crabbing except for the shellfish license. Now the shellfish license is a little bit tricky. Plan and show the shellfish licenses.
In-state license, $10, good for the end of the calendar year. We also do good old out-of-state licenses, 3 days, $19. Yeah, there it is.
Now the trick with the shellfish licenses is at the Jetty Fishery, we only sell those 2 types of shellfish licenses. Annual Oregon resident and non-annual 3-day tickets. Now you can get an annual non-resident license in Oregon. It costs a little bit more, but we don't sell them here. And quite frankly, we'd love to sell you a license, but if you get them somewhere else, even better, because it kind of just slows you down. It's just kind of a hindrance, but you gotta have them. Anybody 13 and older or 12 and older, Josh?
12 and older.
Anybody 12 and older has to have a license to go crabbing. That means touching the bucket, the crab measure, the crab ring, the crab, anything to do with the actual crab catching process. Driving the boat, walking around on the dock, looking around, you don't need a shellfish license. But the second you start touching the bucket, crab measure, ring, bait, or anything to do with the actual crabbing process, you need a license. Now, what we also recommend that you should have, but you don't have to have, is one of these fine Minerva Spencer novels. Now we happen to have 2 out of our current 3 novels here. Dangerous, which one you got there, Josh?
My favorite, Barbarous.
And there is another one, Scandalous. Now these are good reading material, either whether you're trapped on shore, right mateys, or you're in the boat on a luxury cruise going out there crabbing, okay? Or maybe you want to go on the beach and just hang out and take it easy. So that's what you need to go crabbing, is a shellfish license and that boat package deal. Again, what the package deal is going to give you is the boat, motor, bucket measure, life jackets, cushion, whistle, the gas for the boat, we don't like to cheat people out of the gas, and everything that you need to go crabbing for 2 hours. If you want to stay longer, it's just $30 an hour extra, which is a pretty darn good deal when you think about you get an expensive boat and a lot of family fun for another $30. Okay, Andrew, you got anything to add? Because you've been awful quiet over here. You're just looking pretty?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to head on down to the dock and show you the real process behind the boat crabbing. Okay, so these are the boats that we have here at the Jetty Fishery. We have 15, 16-foot Klamath aluminum boats. These boats are relatively sturdy. You can put in up to 6 people or 710 pounds. They're very stable. We've never had one kind of flip over unless someone's purposely been trying to do it. So we also have 8 horsepower Tohatsu motors on these. They're 4-stroke motors, very reliable. You come down, we show you how to run them. You don't need a boater's license for these because it's under 10 horsepower. And that's why we have 8 horsepower motors, so that you don't need a boater's license. That means anyone can come here and drive one of these boats. Now, they're very easy. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to walk you through how to start this boat and motor and operate it, so it's a very simple process. And if you don't feel comfortable the first time around, we have no problem showing you again.
So where you want to go for the boat is pretty easy. You're going to go right across the bay. You're going to go about 50 feet away from the beach over there. And then you're going to go up north and stay up north from our dock. And just don't drop anything in the middle of the bay, and you should be fine. Just as long as you're out of the current and you're not in the cove, you should be solid.
We have plenty of rope. The deepest it is here in the bay, even on a high tide, is maybe 45 to 50 feet, and we have 50 feet of rope on there. The problem is the current is very strong, and it'll pull your buoy right on down, regardless of how much rope you've got. So it's always nice to have it in shallower water, so that extra slack can keep your buoy above the current. Now, we're going to get set up. Josh is going to get some rings thrown over the side, and we're going to show you the proper way to throw a ring over so that you don't lose your crab rings just throwing them over the side.
So what you want to do, it's because we don't like it when you guys lose rings, is there's going to be the crab ring, there's going to be the rope, and then there's going to be the buoy. So to not lose it, you want to make sure the buoy is going to float. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rope and the buoy out. I'm going to throw this crab ring in the water, and then I'm going to feed the line out, throw the buoy out last. Perfecto.
Now some of you might have noticed that we've got some small children in the boat. In Oregon, the law is if you have a child 12 and under and your boat is underway, which means it's not attached to a dock, anchored, or on shore, you pretty much have to have your children in a life jacket. So if you don't have life jackets, that's okay, because when you rent a boat, we provide those for your children and for yourself. Anyone 13 and older does not need to wear their life jacket, but if you need to or feel comfortable doing so, there's no problem with that as well. People do it all the time. And again, remember, we provide the life jackets for you. If you've got kids, you really got to kind of bring them crabbing. It's kind of a family experience. It's something that they're going to love to do. It's something that you're going to love to do as a family. What you can see here is a random 12-year-old girl that we just picked up off the dock. Decided to take her crabbing. She's going to show you how easy it is to throw a crab ring in without losing the crab ring. There it is. Holding the rope. Letting it over. And then she's going to throw the buoy over.
The best way is to wrap the rope up in the prop and put it at full throttle.
Okay, we're going to demonstrate pro style. We're going to take the boat, we're going to go against the tide. The tide is going this way right now, it's going out, and we're going to go against the tide, pull the boat right up alongside the buoy, and we're going to have Josh pull as fast as possible while I keep the boat going forward. When I pull the boat forward, it makes him pull the slack faster, and that is pro style. Now some of you may be wondering, well, if we're crabbing, the best time to crab is on the incoming tide, and you're already crabbing on the outgoing tide. Well, sometimes you gotta crab when you can. So we're on the outgoing tide, and Josh is gonna demonstrate pro. Here we go. And go, 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 go. Now it takes some time and practice to be able to do the pro style of pulling, because it takes some coordination with the driver and the puller. And not everybody wants to do that every time. So there's the normal style of crab ring pulling, which is you have somebody slowly drive the boat up alongside the buoy. Someone reaches over and pulls it. So we're going to demonstrate the normal style of pulling a crab ring. And Josh is going to do that. Josh, take us away.
That buoy?
That buoy right
You
there.
gotta grab that buoy?
That buoy right there, Josh.
And just grab it?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
We're going to demonstrate the noob crab ring pull. For starters, we're going at the buoy with the tide, which is never a good thing. So here we go. Josh is going to reach over.
Go faster, I can get it. Go faster.
Oh, we missed it. Now we're going to have to turn around.
That was clearly the captain's fault. It wasn't my fault.
You can see the buoy. We can get a shot of the buoy here. Oh, he missed it again. Notice how we almost drove over the buoy. We see this all the time. So it takes a little bit of time to practice, but eventually you'll get it down.
Dave, once I grab it, you should just do it when it's really fast around it.
You want me to do this? Now here's what we're going to demonstrate is what the boat driver can often do while the crab ring puller is doing what they're supposed to do. Crab ring puller grabs the ring. All of a sudden the boat driver goes crazy.
Guaranteed results.
So we're going to take this young lady that we picked up on the dock and we're going to demonstrate exactly how even the young ones can come out here and go crabbing. So young lady, how old are you?
12.
12 years old. Here we go.
Oh, this old.
You're that old? How about you, young man?
I'm 7 years old.
Well, you got to step in the camera if you want to get taken.
I'm 7 years old.
Okay, so as you can see, this young lady's going to demonstrate semi-pro style. She's leaning over. She's ready. Here comes the buoy. The driver's going to pull the buoy up close to the ring. She's going to reach over, grab that buoy, and then start pulling as fast as she can. I'm going to go against the current, give her a little bit of slack. And I'm going to slow down, put it in neutral, because it's going to start getting tight in a second.
I think if the sun's
do it.
all up, then there's some crab.
And there it is. Got that crab ring pulled up to the
And a
side.
crab.
And there's a crab in there.
I'm a voted. I'm
Better than I am.
Okay, Josh is going to demonstrate another pro style crab ring pull. Here we go.
Oh, please.
We're going.
Ready? Yep. Scene. Here at the Jetty Fish, we use a plethora of baits. We have the classic rockfish. We got tuna caucuses. We got tuna heads. We got you can use like crazy things like squid, chicken. What a lot of people like to do is they like to use like Procure. And they like to throw that. They'll marinate it. Their chicken, because you always want to marinate your chicken, make sure it's delicious and juicy. And so they'll marinate it in Procure like the night before. But I highly recommend if you're gonna use chicken, you want to let it sit out for a couple nights. But you can really use anything. You can use Twizzlers. You can use red vines. You can use your mother-in-law's cooking that you don't really like to eat, but you say you're gonna take them leftovers anyways. Pretty much anything works. We go for the go-to bait of just like rockfishes. So yeah, highly recommend rockfish, chicken, maybe some Procure, tuna heads though. My favorite, the Josh Bayo recommendation, tuna heads.
All right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your crab is a male crab, because keeping a female crab is illegal and it's finable. Okay? So if you're out here crabbing and you've got a shellfish license, you can catch 12 male crab in Oregon that are of legal size. So this is a male crab. It has a small skinny tab in the middle, not a large round tab like Carla that you saw earlier. Okay? So this crab across the back has some points. Okay? So you take this crab measure, which has 3 measurements on the, or 3 scales on the measure. The smallest is 5 3/4, which is Oregon. The next biggest is 6 inches, which is Washington, and then 6 1/4 inches, which is California. You take that measure, you put it in front of the last set of points. A lot of people always try to go point to point, but it's the last set of points. You put that measure in there, and you go across the crab's back. As you can see, this crab is almost bigger than the entirety of the measure, so that's a good thing. But if it was loose, like over on this side here, and it wasn't fitting in nice and snug, okay, that wouldn't be legal. So it has to be nice and tight. Basically, if you can pick the crab up with the measure, it's perfectly legal. Anything bigger, like this crab right here, is bigger than even the California scale on the measure, is good, and you can keep it. Now the last thing is, we recommend, if you come here crabbing and you're getting a lot of crab, you kind of take a look at the crab and you give their legs a little tiny squeeze. Not too hard, but a tiny squeeze. And if it's really, really soft, that means the crab is molting. And we recommend that you let those crab go back, because you'll pick that crab out and there won't be hardly any meat in it. They're very, very hollow. They've just spent a lot of their muscle mass basically molting into a new shell. So if you're getting a lot of crab and you got, 10 or 12 or something like that, you might see if some of them are really hollow or empty, just molted, and you get those ones back in the water. So people all the time get crab, they put it in the bucket, and they fill the bucket with water. Now one of the things that you always got to remember is this crab is breathing the oxygen out of the water. If you put the crab in the bucket, it will breathe all of the oxygen out of that water. And if you don't keep changing the water, it will eventually poison itself. And when they poison themselves, after a while, they're no good anymore. So you don't want to put this crab in that bucket with water unless you're going to religiously or regularly change that water, like every half an hour, every 15 minutes. So what you want to do is you take the crab and you put it in the bucket without water. Now this crab will last quite a while in a bucket without water, as long as you're not banging it around in the bottom of the boat or anything like that. And so it'll have a much better chance of surviving your crab trip out of water. Thanks for watching our video. We like to make it as real as possible. There's no crazy special effects here. This is real meal deal. These are real kids, real dock workers, real crabbers.
No script.
No script.
Just looking at responsive body was causing Adam to, oh hey there, you just caught us spending our 15-minute wait time to pull up the crab rings, enjoying these wonderful novels by Minerva Spencer. Right now I'm reading Dangerous.
I'm reading Barbarous.
And then we're just getting ready for the new one, Scandalous, to come out.